Hi guys, so you asked and I have delivered. My name is Vikki and welcome to What Reads with Vikki. This is a space where I read self-help books and I come on here and review them and share with you everything that I'm learning, especially as an African woman. So currently I'm reading this book. It's called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Not even currently, I've already finished it. So I'm just doing a review of it and I'm going to be breaking it down here chapter by chapter. So when I started reading this book, I hope that this book will teach me a few things. I wrote them down, so I just want to read them out. I wanted this book to teach me how to protect my time and energy and focus on myself. I also hoped it would teach me to stop chasing approval and managing other people's happiness because I felt like I needed to do that all my life. And so the first chapter of this book is called Stop Wasting Your Life on Things You Can't Control. And I just want to, first of all, give a background of why this book has been very, very important for me. So I am a firstborn daughter and I also come from a non-functional family. So when my mom left, she left when I was getting into my teenage years. And so naturally, I ended up taking on the role of, more or less, for lack of better words, like a mom and just like being the woman in the house. So that meant I cleaned, I cooked, I took care of my siblings. I got to say what we ate, where we went, what they wore, when we'd clean, how we'd clean, and all that. And so without realizing it, that turned into control pretty fast, and I started managing everyone else's life. So when I got into this book, I thought it would mostly focus on other people and what other people are doing wrong and why we need to leave all those other people. But reading this book was like holding a mirror to myself because it helped introduce some aspects of me that I didn't even know existed. So one of the things that I learned is that I had bad control problems because I'd feel very entitled to what my siblings were doing, who they were friends with and what they were doing in their lives. And so and I'd also be very entitled with what they do, and I thought that my way was the right way, and if they had their way was the wrong way, and they need to stop doing their way and do my way. And so one of the things that I've learned from this book is that when we control and manage other people, we also give them a lot of power to control. We also give that need a lot of power, not other people. We give that need a lot of power to control our happiness, because if you're used to controlling other people, what you do is that if they don't do what you want them to do, you end up feeling very, very frustrated. Yeah, so when you're used to controlling other people, you end up giving that need for control a lot of power to control your happiness. And if people don't do what you want them to do, you become very, very frustrated, sometimes even very unhappy, and it can cause a lot of friction in your relationships with those people. No matter how deeply you love them and you care for them, you also have to know that loving people and caring for them is also sometimes letting them have their way and clapping for them as they do things the way they want them done. Because personally, for me, I'd worry so much about who are they friends with? Are those friends like a good influence? And I'd try to like always be on top of it. Like, no, that should not be that person should not be your friend. You need to have better friends and all that. And then they wouldn't listen, and then I'd end up very frustrated, sometimes even very, very unhappy, and even our relationship would end up having a lot of friction. So one of the things I learned from Mel, and I want to read it out, is that all human beings have a hardwired need for control. Now, this is from my perspective. I know other people who have had a hardwired need for control. Like for example, if they're in a relationship and they're feeling like their partner is not motivated a lot, they tend to be on top of them a lot so that they can get more motivated. Some other people, it's about money. They feel like they are short of money and their partner is not doing enough to make them money, and so you're always like in someone's ear on what they need to do. That's what a person who has control issues does. Take it from me, who has had control issues, that you're always like whispering in someone's ear, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and if they don't do it, you become very, very frustrated. So one of the reasons that human beings are hardwired to control is because control makes you feel comfortable and safe. Like, for example, let's take money as an example. If you're in a relationship, if you control how the other person spends their time to make money, it makes you feel safe and comfortable in that maybe you won't lack and that maybe you guys won't run out of money. So naturally, we try to control everyone and everything around us, often without even realizing it. So what I've learned the most from this chapter is to first of all recognize when I'm being very, very controlling, managing and micromanaging other people, and taking that and working on it instead of worrying about that other person not making enough money. I want to be able to recognize my own feelings and my own emotions and my own need to make enough money and to work on that other than being on top of that other person. So I feel like the other place another example of places we also try to control other people is, in my case, like asking my siblings, who are you friends with? Are they good friends? And me spoke to a deeper need inside of me to want real and authentic friendships. But if I don't slow down enough to realize that me trying to control them speaks to a need inside of me, then I can't address the need. And so I feel like chapter 1 is opened my eyes to that. Anything you're trying to control so much speaks to a need inside of you. And so what now I do is, instead of feeling like, oh my God, they have such bad friendships, I ask myself if in my life I have real and authentic friendships, and if I like them, and what it takes to have real and authentic friendships, good friendships, and to work on that and let other people do them. If they don't feel like they need to have real and authentic friendships, it's not up to you to open their eyes up to having real friendships. And that's where let them comes into play, right? Because they get to choose who they want to be friends with. They get to choose what they want to do on a Friday night or a Saturday night or even on a Sunday. They get to choose whether they want to go to church or not. They get to choose whatever they want to become. Your parents get to choose whatever they want to become. Take it from me. And I read this book and I was like, oh wow, that's a lot you get to learn just from a chapter. Is that by the end of the day, some of the things that we are really, really trying to control speaks to a deeper need inside of us. And so here's a challenge for you. If there's nothing to be like ashamed of, we're all learning, we're all growing. If you've also been in situations where you've been controlling and micromanaging other people, go read the Let Them Theory. Don't just read chapter 1, read all the chapters, but I'll keep coming on here and sharing what I'm learning from the other chapters. But if you take anything away today, is that don't let those deep needs inside of you become the reason you control other people. You need to recognize them and you need to work on them. The other thing that I've learned is that other people will do whatever they want to do. You don't get to let that dictate your happiness, your mood, and all that. So anyway, if you've been reading the Let Them Theory, I'd like to hear from you in the comments on what the book has taught you so far, maybe from chapter 1 or even in general. And yeah, look forward to episode 2 next week as I share what I've learned from chapter 2.